story. Oh, sad story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session hour 106.
We cannot bring about prosperity by discouraging thrift. We cannot strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. We cannot help little men by tearing down big men. We cannot lift the wage earner by pulling down the wage payer. We cannot help the poor by destroying the rich. We cannot establish sound security on borrowed money. We cannot further the brotherhood of man by inciting class hatred. We cannot keep out of trouble by spending more than we earn. We cannot build character and courage by destroying men's initiative and independence. And we cannot help men permanently by doing for them what they can and should do for themselves.
Freedom street, everybody know we gonna
It's the 15th day of the second month of 2021, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, the International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor, and the International Year of Health and Care Workers. We're in the middle of Heart Month and Reggae Month here in Jamaica. Black History Month activities continue in the United States of America, Canada, the United Kingdom, and the Netherlands. It's a national day in Serbia, National Flag of Canada Day and Family Day in Canada, National Lamb Day in New Zealand. Buddhists around the world are commemorating Parinirvana or Mahayana. It's President's Day in the USA. Hoy es lunes el 15 de febrero 2021 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est lundi, le 15 février 2021 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue.
Walk, walk, walk down Freedom Street. Let me tell you people, united we stand. United we stand. Divided we fall.
We started with the words of Reverend William J. H. Boitker, B-O-E-T-C-K-E-R, B-O-E-T-C-K-E-R, Reverend William J. H. Boitker. We cannot bring about prosperity by discouraging thrift. We cannot strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. We cannot help little men by tearing down big men. We cannot lift the wage earner by pulling down the wage payer. We cannot help the poor by destroying the rich. We cannot establish sound security on borrowed money. We cannot further the brotherhood of man by inciting class hatred. We cannot keep out of trouble by spending more than we earn. We cannot build character and courage by destroying men's initiative and independence. And we cannot help men permanently by doing for them what they can and should do for themselves. And we combined the 10 cannots by Reverend William J. H. Boitker with Freedom Street by Ken Booth. Both works speak for themselves. Good afternoon to those of you tuned in on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Gleaner Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app which you would have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free. Listening is free whenever, wherever. We acknowledge those who have found other means of listening to Power 106 FM. Well, for example, you can dial a couple of numbers depending on where you are, and you'll be able to listen to Power 106 FM by dialing those numbers. For example, if you're in the United States of America and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 631 359 8281. 631 359 8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330 606 0953. 0330 606 0953. We're all over social media: Facebook, Twitter, Skype, Instagram, LinkedIn, BBM, Yahoo Messenger, Tango, WhatsApp, Snapchat. In fact, we're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page and affiliated pages. If you're not there yet, in the search box atop, log on to Facebook, and in the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you'll be able to not just hear, but also see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. And then, of course, there is always YouTube. If you have no social media account, but you're familiar with YouTube, once you have access to the internet and you have a device, you can log on and go to the YouTube website. And if you do that now, you should see this video trending. If it's not, then in the YouTube search box, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you'll be able to not just hear, but see what's happening on both sides of the story. There's more after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Farmers, you can now control your fungal diseases with Eradicate, a systemic fungicide from Newport First and Jamaica Limited. Eradicate controls coffee rust, leaf spot, black and yellow cicatoca, early and late blight, powdery and downy mildew, and other fungal diseases on your crops. Get your Eradicate at your nearest farm store or at the Newport Versan office, 2A, 2B Worry Wharf Complex. Take back control with Eradicate.
Your taxes.
Experience the convenience of this tax season. File and pay your final income tax return for 2020 and estimated return for 2021 due on March 15 with tax support in so many ways using our web services, Customer Service Center 888 Tax Help, or Special Taxpayer Assistance Program. Tutorials available online at jamaicatax.gov.jm. All income tax returns, including individual, must be filed online with more options to pay. Tax Administration Jamaica, changing the way we do business.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today. The following is a program advisory from Power 106 FM. Please be advised that the program Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas has been reduced to 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday, starting Monday, November 2. That is Dear Pastor, now 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Power 106 FM apologizes for any inconvenience this program change may cause. The proceeding was a program advisory from Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. We're live on YouTube via the Dervan Malcolm YouTube channel. If you're not there yet, as we said, you can log on and watch. You can like the channel. You can also share. You can comment, and importantly, hit the subscribe button and help us to grow the numbers here on YouTube. We thank those who have come on within the last few days, and we look forward to serving you the best we can. Thank you very much. In the meantime, let's welcome those who are already online and have joined us. Kareen Evans, Harold M. Burke, Asil M. Green, thank you for tuning in. Good to have you on board both sides of the story. Kirkisha Salmon, good afternoon to you too. Beverline in Toronto, Canada, good afternoon and happy Family Day in Canada. Olga Hollingshead says, blessed afternoon, sir. Malcolm, peace and love for a wonderful day in paradise. Thank you very much, Olga Hollingshead. Mona Lisa Smile says, good day, Dervan and listeners. Happy Monday to you too, Mona Lisa Smile. Cherry Henry, good afternoon. Sonia Boney, welcome. Nicola in Mandeville, welcome and good afternoon to you too. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM as we continue to stream live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Hello to those who are hitting us up on social, well, not just social media, but in particular WhatsApp, like Ricardo in Glengoff. Welcome, Ricardo in Glengoff. Maureen Keating Pitta, also on board. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. And Ricardo is conveying, he says, West Indies will have to work good together as a cricket team. We know in order to top the cricket rankings again, like how they used to in the past. Congratulations to the West Indies team for beating up Bangladesh 2-0 in the Test series, and it is a well-deserved win for them. And we in the Caribbean want them to keep it up by beating every other team. Those players for the West Indies have the potential to carry the team well by being successful, how we want them to be, and let the whole Caribbean feel good. From Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Thank you, Ricardo, for your sentiments, and congratulations to the West Indies team. One of the stories trending in the news right now, apart from our ever-climbing COVID-19 cases, and the latest situation is that 245 people have been admitted to hospital, 44 of them moderately ill, and 21 in critical condition. 12,635 people have recovered from COVID-19 in Jamaica. There are 6,096 active cases and 270 new cases yesterday, for a total of 19,305 confirmed cases of COVID-19. We also got the sad news of the deaths of two people in Portmore. Initially, it came across as a breaking story earlier this morning, just about 7:30 or so, and then apparently the identities of the individuals have been publicized, perhaps one more than the other, because based on his position, a former coach of Calabar High School's track team, and also a former athlete himself, along with another along with a 19-year-old woman, and those investigations are continuing. He was also a member of the coaching staff for the newest track club in Jamaica, Legacy Track Club, and the words of condolences and sympathy have been coming in from all quarters, and we'd like to join those within the Calabar family and the broader Jamaican family to convey our condolences on the apparent tragic death of one who was known as I think they used to call him Soap. I was just trying to remember the moniker that they used, which he accepted and owned up to it. He would have also done a remarkable job, apparently, in the coaching of those who did what are called, I think, the horizontal jumps. And in fact, I was at the launch of the Legacy Track Club, and he was there as well. And yes, they called him Soap Man. I don't know the story behind that, but it really is a most unfortunate end to have befallen this late Calabar coach and the 19-year-old female who was in his company. We would like to, as we said, convey our condolences, and the deceased Nicholas Newville. To this point, I've been trying to get additional information in terms of, I've been going across the apps just to see if the 19-year-old has been identified, but just not finding that information. But we convey our condolences to the deceased. We are always devastated at any loss of life, whether by fair, I don't want to say fair or foul means, but whether by natural causes or otherwise. The loss of a life is always to be regretted, and we convey condolences to the family, friends, colleagues of the deceased from that reported double murder. If there are additional details that come to hand while this program is on, we'll share the information with you. In the meantime, condolences to those who are hurting on account of the loss of these two people. Good afternoon to Sanjay Sinanan. Sanjay says, hi, Mr. Malcolm. Another happy weekend for West Indies fans. I also watched the Jamaica Scorpion game in Antigua, and I hope Captain Rovman Powell can turn things around with Brandon King and Fabian Allen. So it is, Sanjay. We join you in celebrating the West Indies' remarkable victory. First time in 9 years that a West Indies team is winning a series on the Asian continent. Sachet, I beg your pardon, Sachet Grant says, I hope they keep the test players going forward, especially Bonner, and perhaps even keep Craig Brathwaite as captain, in reference to Sanjay's post on YouTube. Kevin Green says, good afternoon, watching from Toronto. Good afternoon, Kevin Green in Toronto, where you're celebrating Family Day today. It's Family Day today in Canada. That's one thing you'll find with the Canadians. They're big on family. And so it's Family Day in Canada today. Welcome to those who have joined us on, let's see, this is a text message from Joan. Good day, Dervan. Government, please do not waste tax dollars to convince us to take the vaccine. Use the money to fight crime, to pay doctors, nurses, and pensioners. Use the free media time allotted to government through the GIS. For almost a year, we have been bombarded with ads to protect us from COVID. Look around on any given day. Few people are wearing masks or physically distancing. I hear the traffic in and out of my community way past curfew time. We are a stiff-necked people, and no amount of persuading will help. Use the money elsewhere, says Joan. We break now for our regular Monday afternoon feature, Land Solutions, and come back with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Where are you? Are you trapped in your mind counting numbers? Are you a small business trying to leave your footprint in the world? I can help to take your business anywhere. Are you jogging, or are you racing to close the deal of the century? There's a good chance we can do great things together. Are you home, pacing the kitchen, confused about what to eat and how you'll pay your staff? I'm way ahead of you. I'll give you the money when you need it. I'm the voice in your ear. My voice? I'm a bank that will meet you where you are. A bank that cares. Exim Bank cares. Exim cares about your business. Exim cares about you.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during Both Sides of the Story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during Both Sides of the Story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today. The following is a program advisory from Power 106 FM. Please be advised that the program Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas has been reduced to 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday, starting Monday, November 2. That is Dear Pastor, now 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Power 106 FM apologizes for any inconvenience this program change may cause. The proceeding was a program advisory from Power 106 FM.
It's a Monday afternoon, just after 2:30. That means time for Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, and 876-922-4114. The text line for Land Solutions today is 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree. They have an office upstairs, Shop 6, in the JN building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. In light of the COVID-19 infection prevention and control measures, you're invited to call the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, and you'll be advised how to proceed. Please do not just turn up at the offices of Brown, Findlay and Company. Call ahead. The numbers to call 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. In a moment, your host on Land Solutions for today, attorney at law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to Land Solutions. As Dervan just told you, my name is Gloria Brown. You may give me a call now if you want to ask a question, anything related to land ownership, 922-411-224, 922-411-224. And I want to just touch on a topic, two particular things, because I think I've been trying over the years to try and get some ideas out of the heads of persons who we have this, no matter who I talk to persons about certain things, they just have this preconceived notion that's very hard to dispel or to go against or to really convince persons. But just remind persons that paying the taxes for property cannot make you own property. Paying taxes cannot make you own. So even if you have been paying the taxes for 50 years, that cannot make you the owner. So you have persons living on a property, for example, in Kingston, many persons living in a big yard, and one person has taken it upon himself to pay the taxes. That cannot make that person own the property over the others who are there. They will all have to be the owners if they have been there long enough. So please, another thing, there's another tendency for persons to hold on to burial orders, to say, I am the one who buried my parents, so nobody else is going to get the burial order because it's going to give me more power, more authority over the estate, and nothing goes like that. Because the burial order does not have much value, really, because if you have the burial order, I can go to RGD and apply for the death certificate, and it's really the death certificate I would need. So a lot of little things that we hold on to, and a lot of times it's caused a lot of conflict. So just to tell persons, the fact that you are the first child or the last child or the one who buried the parents or the one paying the taxes or the best looking one or the one who they preferred or the one before they died they gave the documents to, none of these can make you own property. If you want to own that property, you must come to me and show me a will to show that the parents willed it to you or whoever owned it willed it to you. But these notions are things that we really have to try and dispel, and to get to understand that these are things that will not make us own property. So if as I say to my clients sometimes when they come, I say, if I'm not paying my taxes for my house, you think you could pay it every year and come and claim the house? No. And that alone should let you realize that does not make sense. So what is important about property is who is occupying. It's occupation. So you pay the taxes, I am the one occupying it, I have more power than you. And I'm glad if you have paid the taxes because that means I don't have to pay. The numbers to call, 922-4112, 922-4113, and 922-4114. And remember, you may send me a text or WhatsApp message at 387-3183. 387-3183. The text or the WhatsApp line. I know a lot of persons have been calling about adding persons to titles and wanting to know what they will need. So if you want to add somebody to your title, for example, you want to add your children, the first thing I want to remind persons that sometimes when you add persons to titles, the housing trust will be reluctant to allow these persons to get a full benefit later on because they will say they already own property. And remember, the aim of the National Housing Trust is really to is able to assist persons in owning their first house. So if the parents have put you on the title, sometimes you have a challenge. So what we try to do is to put documentation in place to say that it's a part of the estate planning process for the parents. So it's not really to give you a vested an immediate interest in the property, but it's a part of the parents planning their estate, so they don't have to go through probate. You don't have to go through probate if the parents should pass on. So what do you need to add the children to the title? Or to add anybody to your title? You can add anybody to your title. And remember, the person don't have to sign all the time. Sometimes persons can be added and don't even know, depending on the type of title that is on what is written on the face of the title. What if you're going to add somebody? What I would need from you, I would need to see a copy of the title. I also want to see the property tax documents to make sure the taxes are paid up in full. Also, I will need the name, address, occupation, and TRN of all the parties involved. Name, address, occupation, TRN of the parties involved. And I want to remind persons living abroad that you can't deal with property if you don't have a TRN. And sometimes I get a lot of pushback from persons living abroad who will say, but I wasn't born in Jamaica, or I leave Jamaica before TRN came about, so I'm not going to get a TRN. If you want to put your name on a title or to take your name off a title or do any dealing with a title, if you don't have a TRN, I cannot assist you. And it's very easy to get a TRN. You can just go on the Tax Administration Jamaica website and download the TRN form. And also, you're going to need not just a TRN form, but you're going to need to get a photo ID. So your passport or your driver's license, you're going to have to get that. You're going to have to get that certified by a notary public. Okay, you're going to have to get the photo ID certified by a notary public. So what I'm going to need, the TRN form signed, the ID certified by the notary public, as well as a letter signed by you in the presence of the notary public, asking the notary public. The letter is going to give permission for me to apply for the TRN for you. So just a letter addressed to the tax office, telling them that I hereby give permission for Brown Finlay and Company to apply for a TRN on my behalf. And so what I want from you, the TRN form, the letter to the tax office giving me permission to apply for the TRN for you, and also the photo ID. One important thing to note is that the photo ID the signature on the photo ID and on the TRN must match. The signatures must match. So the same signature you have on the photo ID must be the same signature you put on the TRN form, and must be the same signature that you put in the letter that you are writing for me. If there's any variation at all in the names, we're going to have a problem. The numbers to call, 876-922-4112, 922-4113, and 922-4114. And remember, I'm always warning persons, be careful who you add to your title. You might say, yes, I want to add this child, I want to add that child. And I won't tell persons what to do, but sometimes I want to warn persons that you add the child today and the child becomes a nightmare tomorrow. So be very, very, very certain and be very careful who you add to your title, because it's very easy to add somebody, but very difficult to take the person off. So if you add me to your title, fine, I don't have to give you anything at all. You can just say, I want to add you to my title, and you go ahead and add. But if you want to get me off a little later on, you need my permission. And so many times we have clients come into the office to say, but Miss Brown, I added the child to the title, and the child don't even know that they're on. They never give me any money to buy it. Or maybe it's not the child. Sometimes it's a boyfriend. So all different types of persons people will add. And then you want to take them off, and you can't believe when I say to you that they have to give permission to come off. So easy to go on, but hard to come off. All right? So be careful who you add to your title. Numbers to call, 922-4112, 922-4113, and 922-4115. Another thing I want to remind persons is that if you add a child to your title and the child is under the age of 18, immediately the titles office will put a caveat, a block on the title, preventing you from doing anything with the title until the child reaches the age of 18. So be careful. Sometimes persons will come to the office and say, and I warned them about that, and if they still want to add the child, and then later on they want to borrow some money or they want to sell the property and they realize they have a problem. So if you want to put your child on, advise your lawyer to put what we call a reservation clause. You're going to add John Brown to your title, who is 5 years old, but a clause will be there to say, reserving unto the parents during the infancy of John the right to sell and to mortgage and to deal with the land as if they were the full owner. So you have the right, when you put a clause like that, you have the right as the adult on the title to do anything you want with the title as long as the child is a minor. That's something very, very important. A reservation clause, we call it. So you can put on your young children, but put a reservation clause to say as long as the child is a minor, you, the adult, will have the right to deal with the property as if you are the full owner of the property. So, add anybody you want. And remember, you can put any number of persons. You can put 1 million people on one title. There is no limit to the number of persons you can put on a title. But remember, as I said, it's easy to put on persons on your title, but it's very difficult. You can put them on even without their permission, even without them knowing sometimes, depending on if there are conditions on the title. But if you want to take them off, you have to get their permission. You can't just take them off like that, and sometimes that becomes a challenge. So I want to advise my listeners to be very, very careful who you add to your title and what you do with your title. What do you do with the title when you have got it? I've got a title for you. What should you do with it? Put it down very, very carefully. If you lose that title, it costs over $100,000 to replace it. Very, very expensive to replace that with a piece of paper. You have to do, if you can't find your title, we have to do something called a lost title application. And I'm going to go to that after the break. But put away your title carefully, because a lot of times I have persons who will come to the office and say, my parents passed on, and what has happened is that when we went to the house, the title was missing. First stop coming away the title. We get that all the time.
Perhaps you could pick up on that point after the break, Ms. Brown. Sure.
Thank you.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
For haulage, welding, moving, dredging, pile driving, cranes for lifting up to 450 tons, and skilled workmen, call Mobile Welding and Engineering Works, 29 Marion Road, Montego Bay, and 85 Old Hope Road, Kingston 6. Mobile Welding and Engineering Works, the strongest name in steel. Tune into Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:35 a.m. the first Tuesday of every month, and 6:18 to 6:45 p.m. the last Tuesday of every month for First San in the Field. Real issues, real solutions. Join the Newport First San team in the field as they identify problems and tell you how to address them. First San in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions is brought to you by Newport First San Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
The program is Land Solutions, during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of property, land in particular, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112 to 4. 876-922-4112 to 4. The text line for Land Solutions is 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. If you wish to get in touch with the law firm Brown, Findley and Company, they're headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They do have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the JN building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. In light of the COVID-19 protocols, you're encouraged to call the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, and you'll be advised accordingly. 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Let's return to attorney at law, Gloria Brown, and you do have a caller, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Brown.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Is there a challenge getting? Good afternoon.
The caller is actually there, Ms. Brown, but maybe a little shy in terms of projecting. We're just trying to fix that off air. That's what's happening right now. But you could perhaps pick up on the point that you left going to the break.
Sure. So before the break, I was talking about taking care, securing your land title. Because if you should lose that title, as I said, it's very expensive to replace. We have to do something called a lost title application. You can't just go to the title office and ask them to give you a copy. We have to do a formal application to the title office, explaining how the loss occurred, when last you saw the title, where it was kept, number of things. And that application must be done by all the persons on the title, all the owners on the title. Okay. And after the application is approved by the titles office, then you have to advertise in the newspaper. If it is lost abroad, then that's difficult, because I did one for somebody the other day that was lost abroad, and the advertisement cost alone was over $1,000. The person told me to put the ad in the newspaper. That's expensive. The ad is less expensive in the Jamaican paper. It's about like 7,000 or so, between 5,000 and 7,000 Jamaican dollars. So if it's lost in Jamaica, it's much easier. So you have to advertise at least once per week for 2 weeks, and then you have to wait another 2 weeks after the last advertisement before you can submit the news. Before you submit the tier sheet to the titles office. Before you submit the tier sheet to the titles office, and then they will do the application. They will replace the title. You won't get back the same title number. They will give you a brand new title with just the history starting from your history, so they won't start with all the information that was on the old title before. So it'll be a brand new title with brand new information. So these are things that you have to look out for. These are things that you have to be cautious about. Okay, taking care of your title, because I said it's expensive. Sometimes you want the title in a hurry, and it's when you realize that you can't find it, that you realize that you need it immediately. And this process sometimes takes 3 months or more. It takes 3 months if you are very, 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 if you really keep track of what's happening. But otherwise, it could run you into 6 months. If the attorney has to be really diligent for it to take 3 months, and sometimes you want it in a hurry. So I'm begging persons, take care of your title. Sometimes you put it down, and by the time you look, moss and other things have eaten it, totally disintegrated. And that's a challenge. So every now and then you need to look at your title, make sure it's in a safe place. Make sure, and also make sure that somebody knows, somebody who is one of your beneficiaries would know where it is. So if anything should happen, then. And a lot of the older persons, you have the children abroad, they are the ones you're going to give the property to. Give them the title to keep. A lot of the older persons, sometimes we like to hold on to these documents and hold them close to our chest. And sometimes it's not best, it's the best thing to do. So I'm begging persons to keep your title secure.
Here's a call for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Brown.
Yes, I'm going to beg you to talk a little louder for me today. Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How you do?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Well, I'm not so bad, Miss Gloria.
All right, tell me what's happening.
In regards to land title, I see we're in it taking a shift now where, you're getting 1 and 2. But there's a problem that lodge with land. When you give a person a piece of land and they do the subdivision, the government is not making the note on the title So you have to send in the parents' title to get it cut off. So it is causing a problem each time you have to get lawyer to go over the agreement and so.
I'm not following what you're saying.
All right. For instance, I give somebody a slice of land, you see?
Yes.
And the person go and subdivide.
Yes.
And I did not send in my parent title.
Yes.
Right? And I died. Right? My son is telling that person that he does not see wherein his portion cut off his title.
Yes.
The parent's title. Wherein the subdivision was done by government take 2.5 years.
Yes, but after the subdivision is done in the parish council, you have to send your parent title to the title office so they can cut out the speech to give the person that title.
Yes, but during the process, the parent's title did lost.
Yes.
And that person went to process his papers.
Yes.
Right.
And the person got the title.
No, the person didn't get the title because my title lost in go ahead processing his documents and the government process it and subdivide it, but I don't know where they make a note of it.
No,
but it is not showing on my title that it was cut off.
They can't make a note on it because it's different agencies, you know, it's the parish council that gives the subdivision. If the title's office now, you need to send your parent title with the transfer to this person, what we call the private land transfer. Because the parish council not going right, it can't go into the title's office and put something on the parent.
Oh, I thought them sell it to the surveyor's office so they would make a note of retire that title. Because remember they have everything they have to send to they have to send to surveyor, you know.
I know, but survey department and titles office are two different things. If it doesn't go to the titles office, no note is going to go on your title.
Well, I think the government need to merge those places because those are bad policies. They need to get rid of.
I should appreciate what you're saying, you know, sir. I appreciate what you're saying. So there should be some indication. I think so for a small country, it's a good point you're making. That we could have some indication on the people on the parent to say yes, a subdivision has been done, etc., etc. Yes, but the gentleman who bought from you could get a title without you, you know.
Yes.
The gentleman who bought from you could go and get his title out of your one and they could put the note on the original at the title's office.
Oh.
Yes, he could do what we call a vesting to say he bought from you and can't get his title and submit his documents and they would show it on the one that is at the title's office.
But it is really a gift, you know, so I don't know.
Yes, man, it will show, they would just show the little piece, the little square or the square and a half or the 2 squares that he bought. They would take it out of your parents.
And as I say, it is a gift.
Yes. Oh, it's a gift?
Yes.
Oh, no. Well, that would be a challenge with a gift then. He couldn't do it. If it was a sale, then he could. So have you got back your title yet?
Well, the title last up to now, I don't get back the title.
So you have to
apply to get that again, you know, but the person is costing me out that in going through that process and didn't get through over 2 years, 3 years with I don't know if it's lamp or week, but it's one of them.
So
Geoland.
Yeah, so why don't you go get your title replaced?
Everything is money now, you know, ma'am. And when you're a farmer, you can afford these things.
All right.
It is hard, you know.
Okay, my father was a farmer, so I'm going to beg you to call me tomorrow so I can do a farmer a favor, you hear?
Okay, ma'am.
All right, call me tomorrow. Listen for my number and give me a call tomorrow. Let me help you out.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, my brother. The number to call 922-411-225. 922-411-225. And remember, the text line is 387-3183. 387-3183. Or you can also send me a WhatsApp message on that same number. And as we have heard the gentleman say, how expensive it is to replace the title. It is. And these times are difficult times. It seems to be experienced in another drought as well. So I know farmers are struggling. But we will assist. We'll assist. We'll always assist persons who are having challenges. Someone to ask my caller to give me a call. Could even call me after the program. Remember, you can give me a call or send me a text message on 387-3183 or a WhatsApp message.
Here's a caller, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Yes, informative program as usual.
Thank you.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Can you use a codicil to add beneficiaries to your will?
I'm sorry. Please ask the question again.
Can you use a codicil to add beneficiaries to your will?
Yes, you can use a codicil.
Okay, and does it have to have the same signature witnesses as the main will?
No, it could have other witnesses. It could have others, but I don't like codicils.
Yes.
I feel you want to change it.
I'm not hearing so well at all. Let me see if I can adjust. Yes, say that again.
I'm saying I don't like codicils. I feel that you should do over your will if you want to change something.
Ooh. It's going to be quite a task.
Oh, the will is very long.
Yeah, just the thing they're filling it out, and all that.
Oh, so you didn't type it up. It's written.
Yes, man, it was typed up and everything, but to list the things and so on,
Oh, it was done by a lawyer.
But if you consider that the better approach, or
yes.
what's the difficulty that
please take my advice and do it over.
Mm-hmm. So, what can you just spare a second to tell me why you do not like the codicil in an instance like this?
Well, the thing is, as I said, sometimes it adds some amount of uncertainty.
Okay.
And sometimes when you look, it's a little bit conflicting with what was there before.
Mm-hmm.
So it can cause problems.
All right.
And as long as you have the health and strength, I think you should, because we need to be revising our wills every now and then.
Every now and that really is true.
And these days with the technology, if you could just get it typed up, because when I type them up in my office and a client comes for a change, I won't even charge for the change again because it doesn't take a minute. You can have it there, but if you can, you could do your codicil. It's legal. It's provision is made for it in law, but
yes.
Do it over.
Okay, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm not sure, Dervan, if it's time for a break.
Indeed it is.
With Land Solutions.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock. Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
COVID-19 has effectively changed our way of life, and to combat the pandemic, it's crucial that we focus on cutting-edge strategies to maintain proper sanitization, hygiene, and public health. Learn more about these cutting-edge strategies and get vital information that can help the individual and various sectors of society operate and thrive in the new normal by listening to the feature Maintenance Matters, airing every other Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. during Power Talk with Ronnie Thwaites. Maintenance Matters is brought to you by Manpower and Maintenance Services Limited, with head offices at 1 Eureka Road, Kingston 5. Telephone 876-920-4721-5. Manpower and Maintenance Services Limited. Get more than clean, get hygiene. That's Maintenance Matters during Power Talk, every other Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
This is Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, land surveys, land titles, titling, etc., willing property, you've come to the right place. You can call 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, or 876-922-4114. The text line, which doubles as the WhatsApp line for Land Solutions, is 876-387-3183, 876-387-3183. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 at the Winchester Business Center, which is at the corner of Hope Road and Winchester Road in Halfway Tree. There's also an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the JN building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. In light of the COVID-19 protocols, you're being encouraged to call the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company instead of turning up. Call and you'll be advised accordingly. The numbers to call 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. The website is landsolutionsja.com. Email gloria@landsolutionsja.com. And on Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. With a caller waiting in the wings, here once again is attorney at law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm okay. Yes. Here's the situation that I experienced I had years ago.
Yes.
About land. This friend of mine made a will. Asked me to be an executrix on the will. When I read the will, she had valued the property. And then share the property as to how much each person should get.
Yes.
When it is sold.
Yes.
I looked at the will and a voice inside of me said, the person is still alive, the property is not sold, it's not money in the bank.
Yes.
It would have been better if the person had put percentage of sale.
Understood. I agree with you perfectly.
I'm no lawyer, so like somebody inside of me just say it.
Yes, and I already said to them what happened with the house drop down.
Yes, because that's what I said to her.
Yes.
There can be depreciation and appreciation of the property.
Exactly. So you're perfectly correct. Don't say this child is to get 50,000.
Yes, because the property is not sold, it's not money in the bank.
Yes, and you know another problem I have, those who leave room for people.
Yeah, and the house.
Yes, the bedroom for this one and the bathroom for that one. As you said, share it according to fraction or according to percentage. A quarter for this child, a quarter for the other, and half for the other, 25%, 50%.
Yes.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
Because whatever happened, you're safe with the person.
Yes.
You know what she said to me? She'll be dead and gone. You know what I tell her? Just take my name off of that will, you see?
Yes, probably.
Some of the money was supposed to be mine. For a program I was running. I'm just tell her no.
Yes.
Money and you, go ahead, go with that. Me not gonna deal with that.
And
if you're gonna tell me you'll be dead, so that means you don't care what happened.
And I tell persons that is a mentality that a lot of us as black people have. To say we're going to leave the troubles for our children.
Yes.
Because we won't be here. Why they see other persons, okay, of other races, even when they are 110, they're still working to make sure the children are better off than they were. And we need to stop this thing. Let them sort it out all the time. Let them sort it out after.
She will be dead and gone.
Let your children be better off than you. Put them in a better position.
I mean, you must go take up that trouble. Me say, no, darling, 100,000 is not enough for me.
That's why every generation for us starting over.
God Almighty, I don't know.
And we live in such a mess with this land.
Terribly selfish.
Yes.
Terribly selfish. I've been dead and gone.
You're not a good steward.
Sound terrible, man.
Yes, that's why the Bible says it's required of a steward that a man be found faithful. And many of us are very poor stewards of the land that we have.
You know, I'm thanking God for that.
Yes.
I'm not a lawyer. I just hear the voice inside of me start saying that.
That was the Spirit speaking, you know.
Yes, man, and I shared it to another lady on another program long ago. Yes. And she said to me, but you're a big time lawyer. I said, no, not me. But me have my King of Kings who I always have up in, you know. Yes. Me say it for other people out there.
Yes.
Don't do that to your children.
Yes, if you want a one niece to say when the house is sold, give this niece $50,000. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the share it according to percentage. And
yes, because the person nothing can go wrong with the person.
Nothing can go wrong with it. If it's nothing, is there 10% of nothing is nothing. Nobody can quarrel and fight. Nobody. It's a person. Yes, but we have to sort out this thing because a lot of what is fueling a lot of the crime is because of how we have left our things, Yes. We have not been good stewards. And we have a generation coming up that decide that they're not going to work for anything. And their lives are easier. A lot of them, their lives are easier than the parents. And a lot of people are so ignorant, they don't know they don't have no knowledge. One thing I can tell you about Land Solutions. Land Solutions has opened the eyes of many of Jamaicans. Including myself. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. But you know, always some people to you. Yes, thanks. Yes, I know. Yes, man, because some people come to me, man. Some people can't be trusted at all. Some people come to me to argument. Me say, what? Legal, somebody tell you that? That's why they must learn to listen and get information. Yes. But some people don't. Yes, my dear. As Dervan will tell you, knowledge is power. All the while. Yes. The teacher of Power 106. Yes. We always have a lot of information there too. Unfortunately, some people that love music and that is it. Love music and those kind of things. They love information. I even said to my fellow Christian brethren that you can't just listen to the religious station every day. You have to get knowledge. But I told them so too. For want of knowledge, my people perish. Of course, too much of that. My glad to love start put on some. You have to do some mixing. Love of them start to put on quite a few different things on it. Because it's a long time we find out, so we think only thing we read is the Bible. Yes, and a lot of us have lost what we should have because we don't have the information. And we are Christians, so we don't do the thing right. No, I have known of a case where this husband and wife were Christian pastor and evangelist in church. Land bought, the man thought his name was on the title. A piece of land was given to the lady daughter. The gentleman have a son. When the lady died, realized her name was nowhere on the title. She wrote a will and give the daughter the house and the land and say he must live there till him dead. You know, he never lived much longer after that. It's a true story. It's not a joke, something I know about. Yes. It was so hard that he never lived much longer after she died. There's no reason for us not to be smarter in 2021. And because we ain't Christian, we don't know how people change. Yeah. We're going to do the right thing. Yes. All right. Thank you for that one. Thank you so much. Bless up. Right. It's good to hear you again. Bye-bye. The number is to call 922-411-224. And remember, you can send me a text message or send me a WhatsApp message. Good afternoon. I realize that my neighbor has started her house too near to my line. What can I do at this point? Go immediately to the parish council. We call them municipal corporations now. In your community to see the person got a building plan because the parish council has the right to put a stop order on the building. So go and insist that they come and visit, and also go to your lawyer for your lawyer to do an injunction to stop the building. Get your survey as well to make sure that the boundary is really correct. But have you spoken to the neighbor? Because that's where it starts, because you don't want to have too much bad blood. So start with the neighbor, explain to the neighbor things you are going to, because I hope they haven't reached too far as yet. And to see if you can have them adjust, because it's good to have at least a 5 foot between your boundary and the neighbor and the house. Okay, between your neighbor's house and your boundary, it's good to have a 5 foot. And I keep saying to persons, we see the neighbor build from fence post to fence post, and we feel we should do the same.
We have a question coming in from Paris and a call as well on the line, Ms. Brown.
Yes, everyone. Thank you.
Right, so let's go to the call first.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Brown.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just trying to find out if I...
Can you talk a little louder for me, please?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out if I should make a will, right, and have a witness and have beneficiary to be the executor.
I'm really not hearing you, though.
If I'm just trying to find out if I make a will and I have a beneficiary, can I make the will and give it to the beneficiary?
Yes, you can give it to your beneficiary to keep.
Okay.
Usually when I make wills, I make 3 or 4. I keep 1 and give the client the other 3.
Yes.
So you can give, but if you have a copy, make sure you have a copy of the will as well in case you don't find, because it's just one you have, and the person should lose the one, the copy can be used as probate.
I just want to know if the beneficiary have the will, if it's illegal, right? Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, man, I just want to verify if the beneficiary.
Yes, you can give your beneficiary to keep, and you can give your executor to keep as well. The beneficiary is the best executor as well, so you could name the beneficiary as executor.
Yeah.
So that is fine, you can.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here's the question from Edward Boucher Jr. in Paris, France. Do non-Jamaicans buying property in Jamaica need a TRN? And what's the easiest process for them?
Yes, anybody buying property in Jamaica will need a TRN, whether you're Jamaican or not Jamaican. Go to the Tax Administration Jamaica website and download the TRN form, the one that says individual. Sign that form and also get a notary public to notarize your passport or your driver's license. Make sure that the signature that is on the passport is the exact signature that is on the driver's license. And you get a assist process in getting them. So this caller could also give me a call because we just also notarize a letter giving me permission to pick up a TRN for you. And we get it for you in short order. So this listener could probably just send me a text message or a WhatsApp message at 876-387-3183. But that's a very, getting the TRN is one of the most efficient processes in Jamaica right now. Are we up on the break, Dervan?
We still have a minute, actually.
All right. Yes. So whether you're Jamaican or not, you will need to have a TRN if you're going to do any business in Jamaica. Getting a title, buying land, selling land, adding your name to land, and anybody can buy land in Jamaica. You don't have to be a Jamaican. You can be a person who has never visited Jamaica. You have just heard about this place and you decide to buy a piece of land. You are free to do that, but you must have this taxpayer registration number. That's what TRN means, taxpayer registration number. So the social security number or whatever other number you use where you are, we have to get this special number. This is Land Solutions.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
Coast to Coast Concrete, the high quality concrete for fencing, roofing, foundation, and road surfacing. Call 876-754-7472. The time by Coast to Coast Concrete is...
What's so super about a $20 coin? Nothing. Unless you buy Super 5 from Lucky Play Lotteries and flip 20 for 1 million. Just pick 5 numbers each from 0 to 9. Select straight or mix and bet $20 to $100. Choose one of 5 draw times between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. And remember your side bet. Super 5 from Lucky Play Lotteries. Your $20 bet could win $1 million. Visit Lucky Play agents island-wide. Must be 18 years or older, authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
For haulage, welding, moving, dredging, pile driving, cranes for lifting up to 450 tons, and skilled workmen, call Mobile Welding and Engineering Works, 29 Marion Road, Montego Bay, and 85 Old Hope Road, Kingston 6. Mobile Welding and Engineering Works, the strongest name in steel.
The following is a program advisory from Power 106 FM. Please be advised that the program Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas has been reduced to 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday, starting Monday, November 2. That is Dear Pastor, now 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Power 106 FM apologizes for any inconvenience this program change may cause. The proceeding was a program advisory from Power 106 FM.
Tune into Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:35 a.m. the first Tuesday of every month, and 6:18 to 6:45 p.m. the last Tuesday of every month for First and in the Field. Real issues, real solutions. Join the Newport First and team in the field as they identify problems and tell you how to address them. First and in the Field, real issues, real solutions is brought to you by Newport First and Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112-4. 876-922-4112-4. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions, 876 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. Land Solutions is on Facebook, facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The website is landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. If you wish to get in touch with the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, they're headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at the upstairs, Shop 6, the JN building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. They encourage you, in light of the COVID-19 protocols, to call ahead instead of turning up. Call and you'll be advised accordingly. The numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Once again, here's attorney at law Gloria Brown with a caller waiting in the wings, and also a thank you message from Edward Boucher Jr. in Paris, France, who read the TRN.
Welcome, Edward.
Subject.
You're welcome, Edward. Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Brown.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, I have a problem here with my wife. What she do me now is you're not supposed to go and sign a title. And she hide me and sign it in for
all right. Okay. I don't want you to go any further because Jamaica is small. Listen for my number, and as soon as the program is over, give me a call.
Okay, then.
387-3183. A text message. My husband and I purchased a house in Jamaica from the bank. The bank denied that a tenant was occupying the property. Now, even after being served notice to quit the premises, the occupier is still living in the house. We are trying to avoid attending court due to pandemic requirements regarding travel. Please give me your best advice. So I suspect that you bought this property under power of sale, which means that the owner could not pay the mortgage and the bank had to sell the property. So you know that those are usually contentious matters. Very, very contentious. And the banks, they are not going to sell subject to vacant possession. When the banks are selling, they are going to sell the property as is with whoever is in it. So it's your responsibility now to take out this person. The good news is that you don't have to come to Jamaica. Do you have any relatives in Jamaica? You could give them a power of attorney and they could go to court for you. So there's no need to attend to Jamaica. Just give the person a power of attorney and don't get the power of attorney signed or prepared abroad. Get a local lawyer in Jamaica to prepare it for you. You will sign it, giving John Brown the power of attorney. And if you have a challenge, give me a call after the program and I'll give you further advice. But you could just give a power of attorney and they will go to court on your behalf to get the tenant out. Usually very painful situations a lot of times because we know how it is. The bank has sold your house, maybe you're in hard times and sometimes people are in denial. Can persons who are joint tenants on a title make a will? And I thank this client for this particular question. Because a lot of persons will say the joint tenant should not make a will. Because, let me explain, when persons are joint tenants, it means that whoever lives the longer or the longest will own the property. So John and Mary are joint tenants. John dies, the property will go to Mary. So even though John will the property to his daughter, the daughter is not going to get anything because Mary is the survivor. Mary will it to whoever she wants. But when two persons are joint tenants, I still say you need to make wills. Let me look at it first. Husband and wife are joint tenants, especially older persons. I always encourage them to make a joint and a mutual will where if anything happens to one, the other one cannot change the will afterwards. So we call it a joint and mutual will where they tie up the property. Because God forbid, suppose the husband dies and the wife won't marry again, we could run into problems. So I encourage them to make joint and mutual wills. But other than that, each joint tenant should put the property in their will. So the wife, they will say, all right, so suppose they're husband and wife and they are joint tenants. The husband should say, if my wife should die before me, I give the property to. And the wife should say, if my husband should die before me, I give the property to. Because God forbid that they die at the same time or they die a few months apart and nobody has had a chance to do anything. then nobody's will would have mentioned the property. So John should say, my wife should die before me, I give the property to. Suppose he said, I give the property to my sister. And the wife said, my husband should die before me, I give the property to my daughter. If the husband dies first, then the wife's daughter will get it. If the wife dies first, then the husband's sister, whoever he willed it to, will get it. But it's important to put it there. And remember, I've told you before, if two persons die at the same time, so the husband and wife, they are joint tenants and they die at the same time, the law says the younger one died last. So the property will go to the estate of the one who was younger if both of them should die at the same time. So the joint property should be mentioned in the will. If the other joint tenants or tenant should die before me, who should get it? Everybody should have a clause like that. And I thank you very much for that question. I'm seeking a piece of lot to buy. How do I go about it? The easiest way is to find it, to locate it and then to try to find the owner. Because there's no data bank to say we have 10 acres of land in St. Elizabeth unless you get, and another thing to do is to get a real estate agent, because a lot of times real estate agents, they have lots, they have houses selling and they can link you up. So that's the best route to go, because the aim of the job of the real estate agent is to marry the buyer and the seller, bring them together so that something can happen. What will happen if I give a false declaration in relation to an adverse possession claim and the court found out that I was lying? Well, the court can say the title is to be cancelled if you have given, because when you get a title in Jamaica, when the government gives you a title, when you apply to the titles office and get a title, it is guaranteed by the state. It is state guaranteed. The government is saying this is legitimate, you are the owner. But the only way to defeat a title is fraud. And if you have given false evidence, then that is fraud. And the court can say the title is to be cancelled. So that's the type of power that courts have. So be very, very careful. Make sure that what you are saying is the truth. When you are doing an application for title or an adverse possession application, you need persons who have known the land for 30 years. So the man who has known it for 29 years and says he has known it for 30. Okay, that's not true. That's fraud. So make sure you find person, which is why I'm saying to the person, you're going to buy a piece of land in the community, make sure the person you are buying it from give you all the information, because sometimes you can't find the persons in the community who have known the land for 30 years because you're a stranger. You only knew about the community when you went in to buy the property, and now you can't find declarants. Two persons who have known the land for 30 years to say Mr. Charlie Brown owned it, then he died and his son Mark Brown took it over, then Mark sold it to Miss Mary, and Miss Mary has now sold it to you. You need people who have that kind of knowledge, that kind of information. So don't just go and buy property and just sit at ease in Zion. Get your proper documentation, get proper evidence. Which is why when persons come to say I'm buying land from somebody and the person doesn't have a title, I say let the person who is selling you the land start the title application, because within a few weeks you'll know if the application is going to succeed, and then they could just amend the application to say the title is to come into your name, and then we can start the process. But a lot of times persons can't get a title and they are trying to sell trouble. Persons have problems and they say let me pass on the problem to somebody who is okay, somebody an unsuspecting person, and especially if the person lives abroad and don't know that they're buying trouble. And then they call and they complain and they quarrel to say, Miss Brown, I give you the application to do the title for me, and it's 3 years, and they don't know that some of these things you can't get a title in the next 10 years. Sometimes when the application is rejected, I have to start over, go another route, all different routes, because my aim is for everybody to get the title. But sometimes you make it difficult because you have gone and bought things that really, really problematic. You buy a piece of land, you say, Miss Brown, why I can't get the title? But the title says the land is not to be cut up, so I have to be applying to the court to modify the covenant to see if I can get permission from the parish council to cut up. That is pushing me into a 1 year. Then I have to go and get the permission to subdivide it, pushing me into another year. So some of these are really, really troublesome things. And a lot of the agencies having COVID-19 problems. So a lot of the persons who I say you get your title in a year, when you call, you hear that this person is out for this time or this person is working from home. And a lot of these jobs we say we're working from home, but they can't work from home, Because a lot of these documents you're not allowed to carry home. So those are some of the challenges we're having. But I'm encouraging my listeners to please let us deal with land in a different way in 2021, especially in this pandemic, when persons' tempers are a little frayed. And I want to tell my listeners that I will be in Ocherius on the last Thursday of this month. I'll be there from 10 o'clock until the last Thursday of this month. So I want my Ocherius clients, I know some of you want to see me in person. So the aim is to be there this Thursday and every last Thursday. I know Miss Finley will be there as well next week. So you could just call the office to see when Miss Finley will be there. But I will be there on the last Thursday of the month. And I want to beg my clients, it doesn't make sense for you to come in and say, Miss Brown, I want to just come in, I have to see you. Call me before, as Dervan has said, because I could tell you when you're coming, bring A, B, C, D. Don't come unless you have this, don't come unless you have that, to save yourself a trip. Because the aim is for us to travel as little as possible these days because of the pandemic. I want to thank my many listeners who continue to support Land Solutions. Because as I said to a client earlier, wherever I go all across Jamaica, I meet persons who will tell me that they have learned so much, that they're approaching things in a different way because of what they have learned from Land Solutions. So I want to thank my listeners. I want to say thanks to Dervan, thanks to Adrian Reed, and thanks to everyone, even my gentleman in Paris, Edward. Thank you so much. I look forward to sharing again with you on Land Solutions. Have a good day.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:30.
Tune into Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:35 a.m. the first Tuesday of every month, and 6:18 to 6:45 p.m. the last Tuesday of every month for First Hand in the Field. Real issues, real solutions. Join the Newport First Hand team in the field as they identify problems and tell you how to address them. First Hand in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions is brought to you by Newport First Hand Jamaica Limited, the first on the land. COVID-19 has effectively changed our way of life, and to combat the pandemic, it's crucial that we focus on cutting-edge strategies to maintain proper sanitization, hygiene, and public health. Learn more about these cutting-edge strategies and get vital information that can help the individual and various sectors of society operate and thrive in the new normal by listening to the feature Maintenance Matters, airing every other Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. during Power Talk with Ronnie Thwaites. Maintenance Matters is brought to you by Manpower and Maintenance Services Limited, with head offices at 1 Eureka Road, Kingston 5. Telephone 876-920-4721-5. Manpower and Maintenance Services Limited. Get more than clean, get hygiene. That's Maintenance Matters during Power Talk, every other Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Let's not quarrel. Let's not fight. Let's get together. We all can unite. Then take off these chains.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We are looking forward to more of your messages. We've been seeing some already popping up, and there are other matters to bring you up to date with as well. In the meantime, though, good afternoon to all those who are watching on YouTube, on the Dervan Malcolm YouTube channel. Good to have you online. Thank you very much for tuning in. Remember to like the channel, comment on it, share it, and importantly, subscribe to it and keep spreading the word. And with your help, we will be able to do more and to share more, because when we get the numbers to 1,000, it means we will be able to take you with us virtually anywhere at home and abroad, because then we'd be able to go live on our smart devices on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't allow you to go live on a smartphone unless you have 1,000 subscribers. So that's the target. We have received a boost recently, a bit of a campaign, and it led to an increase in the numbers, but we still have a far way to go. Having said that, we give thanks for small mercies. According to the information, we now have 369 subscribers. 369 subscribers. That's how far away we are from 1,000. Spread the word and hit the subscribe button. That should make all the difference. And thanks to those who have been doing that, like Anne. Thank you very much for tuning in, Anne. Simeon Leng Simon Kizio. Thank you for subscribing. And Jovan Campbell, thank you as well. And all the others. Good to have you on board. Welcome. And we are counting on you to keep spreading the word. Here are some messages that came in earlier. Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary, says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Happy Monday to you and your listeners. Let me use this medium to congratulate the West Indies cricket team for their series win. I'm waiting to see if the West Indies cricket board and selectors are going to stick with the young team or go for the senior team. Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary. Well, whatever happens, the reintegration must be expertly managed. The reintegration of those who decided to sit out the tour of Bangladesh and those who decided to brave conditions in Bangladesh and the rest of the world to provide some relief in more ways than one for those who have been under lockdown all over the world, helping to provide content, helping to provide entertainment. You can't separate sports from entertainment. They're inextricably linked. And therefore, whatever happens, West Indies Cricket Board, please don't mess up this one. West Indies Cricket Board, you know what the parameters are. You know what the situation is. You have an idea of what's happening or not happening with the bulk of the players in the region, considering you've had this senior team, in a manner of speaking, and this junior team, which behaved like a senior team for the most part. And then you have those who sat out, who are also members of the senior team in inverted commas. And then those who are playing in the regional 50-over tournament. And so everybody has been on show or is on show. Plus, they would have had a bit of a history one way or another. So the key thing is West Indies Cricket Board and all the affiliated entities and arms of West Indies Cricket, please don't mess this one up, please. We have more than enough to work with right now. And I say more than enough carefully, more than enough to work with right now in terms of we have seen more cricketers in action. We also saw some of the West Indies players playing in the Middle East in the T20 tournament as well. So there's been a lot of cricket, and that continues. But whatever we do, West Indies Cricket Board, management team, the coaches, the eventual captain or captains for the different teams, whether it be 50 over cricket, T20, or test cricket, please let us manage the reintegration. Let us manage it very carefully, please. Thank you for your message, Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary. Driver in America says, good afternoon, Ms. Brown. Oh, we'll have to forward this one to Ms. Brown. Sorry we missed it earlier on. Requirements for U.S. death certificate to be utilized in applying for a title in Jamaica. Let's forward this right away to Attorney at Law Gloria Brown in order to ensure that Driver in America gets a response as quickly as possible. And as has been the case for a little while now, when these matters come up, we deal with them right away. So we're sending your message now to Ms. Brown and labeling the message accordingly. And we will also include your number just in case there needs to be a connection one way or another. And we're including that right now, having sent your message ahead of the contact information that we have in our system for you. All the best, Driver in America. Thank you very much for your message. Let's check on the others. We're trying to clear as many as possible. This one says, Dervan, I wish to remain anonymous. Good afternoon to you, Madam Gloria Brown and the Power 106 listeners. Oh, I see why you want to be anonymous. All right, let's forward your message as well to Attorney at Law Gloria Brown. Let's do that right away. Sorry we missed these messages while Ms. Brown was on. But never too late for a shower of rain, they say. We're passing on this message right now. And as we did with Driver in America, we are sending your contact information. Sending your contact information to Ms. Brown as well. And let's get the number in there so that that Ms. Brown is able to connect with you if she needs to, especially in relation to what you have outlined in this message. Right, so those two are done and dusted. Let's see who else is messaging us or has been messaging us. Someone has sent us a video. We're never quick to open videos and other attachments because of whatever little knowledge or experience we have accessing data online. Let's see. Let's do this and that. There's some other messages that are popping up as well, but are not directly related right now, and therefore we'll hop, skip, and jump over those. In the meantime, though, let's say hello to Gerald Jones, Junior Bailey, Mona Lisa Smile. Good day to you. Faye Weller says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Keep up the good work. Blessed love to everyone. Listeners, please follow the rules and stay safe. Jacqueline Simmons, good afternoon. Blessings. Happy birthday blessing to my mother, says Jacqueline Simmons. On her 91st birthday, she's in Dias. Some people say Dias. Dias. Let's go with Dias in Hanover. Jacqueline Simmons in Dias is conveying birthday greetings to her mother in Dias St. Anne. You didn't tell us mommy's name, but the mother of Jacqueline Simmons is celebrating 91 years this year, today. And happy birthday to Jacqueline Simmons' mom, who turns 91 today. She's in Dias in Hanover. I believe that's where Erwin Clare's, is it his father? Is that his father? I think that's where his father is from. As I remember it, Erwin G. Clare Sr., OD, CEO of, chairman of Team Jamaica Bickle and managing director of Caribbean Immigrant Services. Geneve Gail Thomas says, good afternoon, listening from cold West Babylon, Long Island, New York. God bless. Send some warm sunshine. Hope you're feeling us, in a manner of speaking, in terms of the warmth of Jamaica and Jamaicans through the broadcast medium you're employing to connect with us. Stay warm, Geneve Gail Thomas. Beverline in Toronto, Canada says, happy Families Day on this COVID lock-in. It is Family Day in Ontario, the province of Ontario in Canada, as Coco Everald reminds us. Not all of Canada is celebrating Family Day. There's more after the break.
It must be a miracle.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
COVID-19 is still here. Always wear your mask correctly while in public places, covering your nose and mouth at all times. Masks should never be worn over the head, under your chin, below your nose, or hanging from your ears. Recovery from COVID-19 can take up to 60 days or more. The mask or the ventilator? You choose. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. It's onespotmedia.com. Watch your favorite local program or listen to your favorite radio station from anywhere in the world on your tablet, smartphone, or personal computer. Download the app now and keep up to date with your favorite local programs on TVJ. Check us out at onespotmedia.com. Follow us on Instagram, facebook.com/onespotmedia, and subscribe now.
OneSpotMedia.com. The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce presents MIIC Live on both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm every first and third Thursday at 3:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. Learn more about the manufacturing strategy, modernization in trading, foreign direct investments, and much more, right here on Power 106 FM. This broadcast of MIIC Live is brought to you by the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello and good afternoon to Rose McIntosh in London. Welcome, Rose McIntosh. She's saying hi to all the listeners and YouTubers everywhere, she says. And she thanked Miss Mervis, who was on earlier on. Miss Mervis, thank you for sharing. Always love your input. I remember your first call. God bless you, she says. Sanjay Sinanan says, at Dervan Malcolm, I have a lot of time for Rovman, Powell, and Brandon King. Both are very talented young cricketers. Well, let's see how they do going forward. We wish them well. Leonard Jackson says, "Hi, Mr. Malcolm. Leonard here, listening from Canada." Welcome, Leonard Jackson, listening in Canada. Good to have you on board. Winston Lauser is also on board. He says, "Good night to Dervan and listeners from London." Welcome, Winston Lauser, in London, where it's 8:47 p.m. Make that 8:48 p.m. in London right now. Hope all is well with you and yours, Winston Lauser, and all the other Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica in the UK. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Loop News is reporting that the Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, has described as good news the World Health Organization's authorization of 2 versions of the AstraZeneca Oxford COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use. What's the significance of that? Because that's the vaccine that we're supposed to be getting in Jamaica. Well, initially I thought it would have been here, the shipment would have been here already, but based on what the health minister said, it looks like, let's go to his exact words. It looks like the next 2 weeks or the next few weeks. Well, what he said was in the coming weeks. So we're expecting the first shipment of the AstraZeneca, the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine to be here in Jamaica in the coming weeks. That's the timeline, the coming weeks. And let's see how soon that will be. Thank you very much for your message. I'm sorry, messages are popping up as well. Sorry. But that's the news. That's the news in respect of the virus. But the news with respect to our numbers here in Jamaica, not rosy, not as palatable as we would have preferred, but so it is. These are facts as compiled by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. 270 more COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. And that number pushes the overall number of confirmed cases to 19,305. 19,305 confirmed COVID-19 cases in Jamaica. The age range from a day to 104 years old. The area with the most confirmed cases of COVID-19, the corporate area, Kingston and St. Andrew, the corporate area, 5,432 confirmed cases of COVID-19. Next in line, Jamaica's most populous parish, St. Catherine, 3,785 confirmed COVID-19 cases, 3,785 in St. Catherine. Next in line is St. James, 2,045 confirmed cases of COVID-19 to date, followed by Manchester, 1368. I'm sorry. Yes, Manchester, 1368. And St. Anne, 1240. And then we have Clarendon and the others. The number of COVID-19 deaths pushed now to 378. 378 people. That's a significant number, listeners. Can you imagine? Losing one person is sad enough, but losing 378 people in less than a year of reporting the first COVID-19 death, because it's not a year yet since the first confirmed COVID-19 death. And we have 378 people dying from COVID-19 here in Jamaica. Condolences to the families, friends, colleagues, and neighbors of the deceased. For what it's worth, 12,635 people have recovered from COVID-19 in Jamaica, and there are 6,096 confirmed cases. I beg your pardon, active cases, 6,096 active cases. 19,141 people are in home quarantine, 5 in facility quarantine. And here are the numbers we don't want to climb too much, otherwise we're going to be in problems. The number of people in hospital. There are 245 COVID-19 patients in hospital, or patients in hospital on account of COVID-19. That number is at, within the last 24 hours, as in yesterday, 245 people in hospital. 44 of those patients are moderately ill and 21 critically ill. Please feel free to visit the Ministry of Health and Wellness website, moh.gov.jm, for more information. moh.gov.jm. And yet another reminder, as if we need any more reminders. We've been reminded from even before the arrival of the first COVID or the first confirmed COVID-19 case, that we have to wash and sanitize our hands as often as possible. Wash and sanitize our hands as often as possible. Do not touch the face with dirty hands. Don't touch the face with dirty hands. We have quite a bit of openings. The mouth is an opening. The nostrils are openings. The eyes are openings, and the ears as well. We want to ensure that we are wearing our masks when we should be wearing our masks to cover the nose and the mouth. And we're told these days that, again, an indication of the scientists, the virologists, the immunologists, the epidemiologists, and all the other professionals are learning as they go along. They're gathering data and they're coming to certain conclusions. And one of the things they're now saying, and this is coming out of the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta, Georgia, that ideally, underlining the word ideally, we should be wearing 2 masks. A surgical mask, the ones that the health professionals wear, and then over that surgical mask, a cloth mask or a mask made of cloth. That's what we're hearing now. Having said that, the professionals have said, look, the key thing is to make sure the nose and the mouth are covered. That is key. And we maintain our physical distance or arrive at a social distance, or that and as we said, let's just be as careful as possible. But we know there are people who have been careful and for whatever reason, they would have contracted COVID-19. But this is the thing. Sometimes we drop our guard and don't even realize it because we get caught up in the moment. And it can be quite a lot for some of us to remember to do the right thing all the time. It's like what they forgive the analogy, but it helps to make the point that the terrorists, those who had been running rampage all over the globe and in particular countries, that they say, in reference to carrying out acts of terrorism, that they only need to get it right once. They only need to get it right once. So what does that mean for the rest of us? We must get it right all the time. So think of the coronavirus saying to us that I need to get it right only once. So it means all of us, the population, the rest of the population of the world must get it right all the time. We must get it right all the time because the coronavirus, like the terrorists, is no doubt saying to us that as the coronavirus, it needs only one opportunity to get it right. It just needs to get it right once. We must get it right all the time. That's the idea. Thank you for indulging. Let's go to Karima. Hello, Karima. Good afternoon, Jamaica time. I see you saying good evening. Are you in the UK as well? Winston Lauser says, talking about the vaccine, got my letter today to book my appointment for the COVID-19 vaccine, living in London. Keep safe. Happy for you, Winston Lauser. All the best. Wishing you safety throughout the entire process and experience.
It must be a miracle.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock. How can you make your business thrive in the new normal? By using the most powerful IT solutions from Digital Business Hub to optimize your business operations. High-speed Wi-Fi, mobile and office phones, IT security, Microsoft Office with Teams, and much more. Get Digital Business Hub, world-class IT from just $399 USD a month for 5 users. Visit us today on www.digitalbusiness.com.
The February 5 off 50 sales event at Home and Things is here. Take $5 off every $50 you spend. Save big on the brands you know and trust. From beautiful Spanish and Brazilian tiles to exquisite bathroom fixtures from Sedosa, American Standard and Corona. Stylish Moen and American Standard faucets. Doors, windows, paints, and home decor treasures that inspires beauty and elegance. It's the February 5 off 50 sales event happening now at Home and Things. Old Hope Road and Constant Spring Road. Catch it while it lasts.
Brothers, sisters, and all. Let's not deal with illiteracy. Work it out intelligently. Lord, cause we gonna walk down Freedom Street.
Thanks a lot for staying with us. Que hora es en español? Son las 4:02. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:02. 现在几点了？4点02分. 2 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, both sides of the story. Power 106 FM. Good of you to reconnect, Edward Boucher Jr. It's been a little while since we last beheld your messages online. Millicent Morris says, from a little girl, I listen, Ken Booth, the train is coming, baby, and I'm going to tell you goodbye, babe, and I don't want to see you cry, babe. My eyes would fill with tears. He's one of my favorites. Blessings. Happy to hear that, Millicent Morris. All the best. Audrey Smith in Southampton in the UK. Good afternoon to you. Listening in as usual. Thank you. Angela in Toronto, Canada says, good afternoon all. Holiday, family day here. And that's in Ontario, Canada. Happy Family Day, Angela. We know you always look forward to holidays. Enjoy. Jacqueline Simmons confirms that her mother's name is Ina Lee Simmons. Happy 91st birthday once again. Ina Lee Simmons. E-N-A. Yes, that's Ina. Ina Lee Simmons. Happy 91st birthday to you. That's excellent going in cricketing terms as well. 91 not out. It means you have a fair idea of how the pitch is playing right now. You would know whether the bounce is true or not, whether there's a bit of grass or and whether that will keep the pitch from cracking up sooner rather than later, etc. And you know where the footmarks are. You obviously would know where your off stump is. It wouldn't hurt though to take your guard once again, just to make sure that you are properly positioned to face the deliveries coming your way. And as we like to say, play in the V. Play in the V. Whether you want to long on, long off, those areas, or the straight drive. Yeah, those are good. And just keep focused and keep your eyes on the ball and act accordingly. Play each ball on its merit. So it is. 91 not out. Great going. Happy 91st birthday, Mrs. Ina Lee Simmons. Mrs. Ina Lee Simmons from Dias in Hanover. Happy 91st birthday. Sophia Nemard, good afternoon to you in Newell. Newell is in Hanover, isn't it? I believe so. Angela in Toronto, Canada says, thank you, and yes, I'm under my comforter. We're not surprised, Angela. We're not surprised. Joan in Bermuda, good to have you on board. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM as more messages continue to pop up. Driver in America says, thanks for forwarding my message to Ms. Brown, Brother Dervan. Per West Indies Cricket and Clarkie Bless question, I heard it reported on Midday Sport that Coach Simmons intends to continue working with the Victorious team for the time being. But of course, why not? They've proven their mettle, haven't they? Yes. And thank you very much for that quick correction, Sophia Nemard, that Newell is actually in St. Elizabeth. Yeah, thank you for that. Although, who knows? In Jamaica, we carry place names around from place to place, and sometimes we have the place names replicated. But for the time being, we'll go with you, Sophia Nemard. Newell is in St. Elizabeth. If anybody else knows of any other Newell, then let us know. Right. Driver in America says, also, let us, in spite of ourselves, relish the whitewash of Bangladesh for a while before jumping to ponder how long will the sense of accomplishment last. Thank you, Driver in America, for your message. Errol in Spanish Town says, Hi, Dervan. Good day. What action can the Jamaican government take against a visitor creating mischief? Can the person be sued or banned? Sorry, that should be public mischief. Yes, we understand. We get the point that you are making, and that's in relation to what happened, which is not worth repeating necessarily. Over the weekend, of an individual claiming to have been kidnapped here in Jamaica. As it turns out, as most people should have heard or would have heard by now, obviously no such thing. There's no such thing. Fake news. Now, as to whether an individual can be made liable, as I have heard from a couple of lawyers, one lawyer in particular, Peter Champagny, I heard him on this morning on Nationwide. A clip was being played, and he was saying that first of all, for it to be even considered as public mischief, the matter would have had to have been reported to the police. So the complainant would have had to report the matter to the police, at least. And then everything else would flow from that. Her having not reported the matter to the police is... I mean, you can build a case around anything in this world. Whether or not the judge will consider you as wasting the court's time or otherwise is another matter. But you can pretty much bring anything can be any case can be put together and maybe go as far as being brought to a court. There's no guarantee that the court will what next step the court will recommend or hand down. But essentially, for this to have been a case of public mischief, there needed to have been a little more, including and first and foremost, a report to the police. Because that, in and of itself, if found to be false or fake, is indeed public mischief, because you are taking up the time of the police with a matter, or seeking to take up the time of the police, time that could have been spent doing other things in the public interest, in the public good, and you are trying to make mischief. Just like those of us who make false fire calls and cause the firefighters to be wasting energy and resources and possibly putting their life at risk, considering how they need to move, how quickly they need to move to get to the site of the alleged fire. Maybe it's something that the jurists and others in the legal profession would want to say some more on, or to I hear Bert Samuels, for example, and he is a learned attorney, and he seemed to have been saying that there is a case. There is a case. Let's see if anything comes out of this. Thank you very much for your message. And the thing is, Errol, this is why we generally say to our listeners at home and abroad, because of the world we now live in, where everybody has access to public spaces, virtual public spaces, to send out information, what we want to be mindful of is that there are established, bona fide media entities in this world, tried, tested, and proven media entities, where if something happens in Jamaica of any significance, and it is not on RJR, it is not on Power 106 FM, it's not on IRI FM, it's not on Nationwide, etc. If it's not on, if you're not hearing it on the established media entities, it probably isn't true. And the same goes for television. If it's not on TVJ News or CVM News, it probably isn't true. If it's not in the Gleaner or the Observer, it probably isn't true. So use that as your marker. If it's a story of any significance, if it's a development, if it's an issue of any significance, chances are it will make it to mainstream media, which is also on social media. If it's not on CNN or Fox, chances are it isn't so. If it's not on BBC, it probably isn't true. And that's whether BBC, online, on TV, radio, etc. You get the picture. That's the idea. So let us bear these things in mind. Everybody wants a forward, as we like to say. That the expression goes in Jamaican dances and dance halls. You do certain things to get a forward. Yeah. So let's be careful and let's be mindful. 876-922-4112-5. The text line 876-365-3346. More of your input after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
Hello, Jamaica. I am Death. I sincerely appreciate your amazing effort ushering persons to the afterlife. Motorists, please continue overtaking on unbroken lines, running red lights, and speeding through school zones. You've exceeded my expectations and my quota. Ward off death. Obey the road code. A message from the Road Safety Unit.
The following is a program advisory from Power 106 FM. Please be advised that the program Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas has been reduced to 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday, starting Monday, November 2. That is Dear Pastor, now 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Power 106 FM apologizes for any inconvenience this program change may cause. The proceeding was a program advisory from Power 106 FM. Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:17. ¿Qué le retiro en francés? Il est 4h17. 现在TDN 了10点17分. 17 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Let's go to the phone lines. 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. So true, Dervan, says Rose McIntosh. Not sure what she's referring to. Karima Henderson says, I think there should be a law in Jamaica for conspiracies to effect a public mischief. Well, something worth looking at after that weekend experience. Karima, thank you for your suggestion. To the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm just trying to see how I can live better in this universe. But, you know, once upon a time, I was stopped by a examiner, and the examiner pulled me over the vehicle on the road there and took off my plate.
Yes, you've told us this story.
Yes,
quite a number of times.
Yes, and I went to 3 different garages and get it checked, and nothing was wrong with it. And it, you know, it turns out that that went out. But I just said this because of the girl who was saying that she was kidnapped. I think that we're going to have some problems because if she says she's not positive regards to COVID, and we are saying that
regards to what?
The COVID.
She can't make that pronouncement.
No. What I'm saying is that if she tries to prove that whatever they use to say she's positive is not, I don't know, but we just need to see how best we can live better and stop this whole heap of hardening, you know? But to be honest with you, we are people and it don't look good, you know? We just have to try to live better and do better. So, in the future, I would just love our fellow Jamaicans and people abroad to see how best we can live with each other. Live good and do what is right. Because I tell you something, we're far from living good, a lot of us. And I would love to see that change in this 2021, yeah, Mr. Malcolm. That's my take for today.
Thank you. Take care. Your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Remember, you can not only send us your text messages, but also your WhatsApp messages. Your voice notes are also welcome, and you can call us directly on WhatsApp as well. Those are the options open to you. Let's take a quick look back at some of the stories that made the news this time last year and even before that. On this day in 2020, that's last year this time, the Gleaner was reporting data breach at VM Wealth. Client's info leaked in error, says CEO. That was the headline of the Gleaner a year ago, the story on the front page. Also on the front page of the Gleaner last year, this time, if you don't love it, leave it. The words of the Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, as he addressed nurses, telling them to be more committed to patients than to pay. On this day in 2019, the Gleaner's headline was Big Boost for Crime Fight. Billions more to beef up police, army. According to the story, the Jamaican government will be ramping up its fight against crime, rolling out new legislation geared at giving the security forces greater powers and allocating $9.2 billion more to the Ministry of National Security, more than fiscal year 2018-2019. The government was projecting to spend about $803.2 billion overall. Of that $803.2 billion budget, $72.5 billion was allocated to national security. On this day in 2018 was Budget Day. That was the headline on the front page of the Gleaner. Shaw to present expenditure plan for new fiscal year. The budget for the 2017-2018 fiscal year ended up at $805.4 billion. That was 2018. Commuters were also quoted as being willing to stand inconvenience for the upgrade of Constant Spring Road. That made front page as well. Stubborn Court of Appeal judge slams government agencies. Carousel. A Court of Appeal judge slammed Symbiote Investments Limited and 2 state agencies for being stubborn as the company withdrew its application for permission to appeal a lower court's decision against it. On this day in 2017, decertify them. Labour boss wants stiff penalties for non-compliant trade unions. That was the headline on the Gleaner, front page, 4 years ago, this time. 5 years ago, 2016, front page of the Gleaner, no reason to party. Neither PNP nor JLP able to convince 50% of electorate to vote for it. I beg your pardon, to love it. Let's do that again. No reason to party. Neither PNP nor JLP able to convince 50% of electorate to love it. That was the headline on the front page of the Gleaner on this day in 2016. Earlier on, we were talking about fake or real. On this day in 2015, the front page of the Gleaner, real or fake? Bogus insurance documents flood the market as scam widens. Also on the front page of the Gleaner this day, 2015, banking on the Chinese. Criminals target cash-rich Asian business operators. That also made the front page of the Gleaner. And then we could jump back. Let's go back to 2005. We're streaming live on YouTube right now. And why are we telling you this? Because on this day in 2005, YouTube was launched in the United States. On this day in 2005, YouTube was launched in the United States. So YouTube is sweet 16 today. YouTube is 16 years old today. YouTube was launched in the United States on this day in 2005. YouTube was founded by Chad Hurley, Hurley, Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jayed Karim. Let's do that again. Jawed Karim, Jawed. Jawed Karim, Karim. YouTube was founded by Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Karim, who were all employees of PayPal. They were all employees of PayPal. According to a story that has often been repeated in the media, Hurley and Chen developed the idea for YouTube during the early months of 2005, after they had experienced difficulty sharing videos that had been shot at a dinner party at Chen's apartment in San Francisco. And that's where you would have to go, well, in the north of California, to go to get to Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is in Northern California. That's where you'll find Apple, Google, what's the name of that company? A lot of the tech firms. And there are Jamaicans working. We met a few Jamaicans in Silicon Valley when we visited a few years ago. And in fact, the canteen at Apple, the Apple canteen, the concessionaire is a Jamaican for the Apple canteen. So the people at Apple in Cupertino, California, are eating Jamaican food. How about that? Yes. So that's how did we get there? YouTube. There you go. Let's move on. In 2003, protests against the Iraq war took place in more than 600 cities worldwide. It's estimated that between 8 million to 30 million people participated, making this the largest peace demonstration in history. That was 2003. On this day in 2003, the Gleaner reported that faced with mounting demands for his resignation and a battery of public criticism, Finance Minister Dr. Omar Davies apologized for the manner and tone in which he made comments on Sunday, the 9th of February 2003, at a People's National Party PNP function regarding the handling of projects prior to the October 2002 general election. Speaking at a PNP Northwest St. Andrew constituency conference on Sunday, February 9, 2003, Dr. Davies said the government made public spending decisions in regard to some projects during the election campaign, even though there were other pressing issues. Let's come back to that in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Brooks is MC one man in the restaurant, a scratchy man miggle, and all this scratchy man scratch, this whole heap of money just appear out of nothing. Boy, brother, the man must scratch himself rich to brown dog. Mr. Brooksy, that will never happen, and you will never live to see that happen.
Forget the fantasies. Buy Dream 6 for a chance to get rich in a real life. Your $100 ticket could win 30 million or more. Get the best odds with Dream 6 from Lucky Play Lotteries. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
No, that cannot happen.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Let's not quarrel. Let's not fight. Let's get together. We all can unite.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5:29. 现在几点了？5点cha 29分. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. We were going through the Gleaner's archives, as we do, as often as we can from time to time. we were at the year 2003. And the news in the Gleaner on this day in 2003 was that the Finance Minister, Dr. Omar Davies, had apologized for the manner and tone in which he made comments on Sunday, February 9, 2003, at a People's National Party function regarding the handling of projects prior to the October 2002 general election. Speaking at a PNP Northwest St. Andrew constituency conference on Sunday, the 9th of February 2003, Dr. Davies said the government made public spending decisions in regard to some projects during the election campaign, even though there were other pressing issues facing the country at the time. And the quotation was, last year on the road to the fourth term, there was no way I was going to stop any project which we had on the ground. Even with the flooding, even with the other things there is no way I was going to stop the projects. If it was another time, I probably would have held back on other things and deal with the flood damage. But there was no time, and I am not going to make any apologies for it. Dr. Davies, in a statement on this day, said he apologized unreservedly for the manner in which he spoke and the interpretation arising from the comments. It's called the foot-in-mouth disease, and it still happens to this very day. Your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. On this day in 2002, amid growing evidence of irregularities at the government-run National Housing Development Corporation, NHDC, the opposition Jamaica Labour Party on this day in 2002 called for the fraud squad to be brought in to investigate the activities of the agency. The party's leadership also dismissed attempts by Water and Housing Minister Dr. Carl Blythe to explain huge cost overruns on Operation Pride projects, insisting that he should resign. Operation Pride, which was set up to provide houses primarily for low-income Jamaicans, was managed by the NHDC, National Housing Development Corporation. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Here's a call coming through on our 365-3346 number. Let's see. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I am fine, thanks. And you?
I'm cool. Listen, I want to ask you about three things. The first thing I want to ask you about, the INDECOM, what comes under their portfolio?
Let's see. We'd have to go through the INDECOM Act in order to tell you that. I've never had reason to read that.
Spare you the time.
Yes.
They done a report recently about correctional services where something happened that shouldn't have happened. Does that come under INDECOM's portfolio? Isn't there a body that is supposed to investigate things like that if it happened in the correctional service?
Well, let's look at the information on their website, which just popped up. Where's the question? One of the frequently asked questions: what incidents are? I think it should be is. That's an error though. What incidents, it should be is. What incidents is INDECOM mandated to investigate? Here are the incidents. According to the INDECOM Act, the following occurrences, which can be subject of an investigation, resulting in the death of or injury to any person, or that was intended or likely to result in the death of or injury to any person, involving sexual assault, involving assault or battery, resulting in damage to property or taking of money or other property, although not falling within paragraphs A to D, is, in the opinion of the Commission, an abuse of the rights of citizens.
And they are referring to not to the public, to the police or soldiers, and isn't that?
We would like to think so. That's our impression of the reason why INDECOM was set up. I think, as I remember it, I think Bruce Golding was Prime Minister at the time, and he was saying, due to the high number of police killings, that it was time to get a body to investigate the police, and that it shouldn't be that the police is investigating itself.
Right, and that's, in my opinion, I thought that's why INDECOM was formed.
Yes.
Right, but the way you read it there, they're giving you impression that INDECOM has the power to do things that's even done by civilians.
Yeah, well, it's all. This is just a part of the act. I mean, if you read it in its entirety, then it would outline what its mission is at the outset. And then this is just a question. This is what popped up because I put in the question in the search box, INDECOM's mandate, and that's when this popped up. The site from the INDECOM site. What are the incidents? What incidents are INDECOM mandated to investigate?
Right. The reason why I'm asking, the person who's in charge of INDECOM, Mr. Faulkner, is that his name?
Hugh Faulkner, yes.
Right. This report that he has just that he did a couple of weeks ago, these juvenile under the correctional service.
Yes.
I'm wondering, does that come under his portfolio, or is there another committee or group of people whose job it is to investigate the correctional service?
No doubt they have internal bodies, but it would fall to INDECOM because it would fall under the remit, and this is a layperson looking on speaking. It would fall within the remit of coming in contact with the state through the correctional service, which is a part of the security. The security enforcement and punishment procedures, and because those in custody have the investigations show that those in custody are being their rights are being infringed, or they're being abused, allegedly or proven.
I hear what you're saying, Dee, but I don't think that way.
Who do you think should be?
I believe that there another committee was been about for years who used to do that, and INDECOM's portfolio, as far as I'm concerned, why it was created was to do with abuse by the security forces, i.e. the JDF or the JCF. And I think under the correction, the prison or the correctional service, I would like to find out, I would like somebody to tell me and the rest of the Jamaican people what body that falls under. Right? I just thought I would ask. So, whoever is listening, and I would like somebody from the opposition, because I'm wondering if we do have right? To let the Jamaican people know. Okay, I'll leave that for the time being, but I know you will do your homework and find out from somebody.
Sure.
Anyway, the second thing I would like to find out, because of the expansion in the brutality and the criminality in this country, and people is calling on the government to do something and what have you, they have been publishing a figure of $40 billion, which they have spent to enhance the service of the police, soldier, etc. And it will need another 100 billion.
Oh, I missed that part. Who said that?
It's either, I'm going to tell you, you haven't heard that they said they have spent 40 billion already?
No, the 40 billion, yes, but the part about the 100 billion needed.
All right. The 100 billion is either that they had planned to spend 100 billion or they intend to spend another 100 billion, or 40 billion is part of the 100 billion. I want to ask, if I find somebody and ask people in the government or in the opposition where the 40 billion was spent, what equipment were purchased for the security forces, and where the rest of the money is going to be spent. Because quite frankly, if that sort of money was spent, the 40 billion in the last 4 years, and in my opinion, criminality and murder have expanded tremendously. So are you telling me that 40 billion or the other 60 billion or 100 billion that you're going to spend, it is the same result we're going to get? Because as far as I'm concerned, the escalation of brutality has been tremendous. Okay? So for the time being, I will leave you with that.
Yes. Well, let's follow up. What we know is that the national security budget in 2018-2019 was 72.5 billion, and that was an additional 9.2 billion than the previous year. So that's what we have right now. We have to go to the break. Would you like to hold or leave it there?
No, it's all right. I'll leave whatever I have for some other day.
Sure, no problem. Thanks for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story. Back in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Yo, Akeem.
What go on, G? When the course start?
You know, say it soon start, but I'm not finish register yet.
How come?
My mother tried to sort out the registration fee, but she short about 10 grand.
That rough. But they never the pamper on time I go to high school.
Yeah, you know.
Then a set man, part of a grand few like me and you, we have the certificate or receipt CXC subject.
For real? I will tell you that.
Brother, I use and sort up myself September. And them take application from now till the end of March. So go use some time and check it out.
Path beneficiary students, if you completed secondary school in the past 2 years and are continuing to post-secondary studies, we have a grant for you. Visit the ministry's webpage or Path Facebook page or call 876-922-8007. Path, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce presents MIIC Live on Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm every first and third Thursday at 3:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. Learn more about the manufacturing strategy, modernization in trading, foreign direct investments, and much more right here on Power 106 FM. This broadcast of MIIC Live is brought to you by the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas on Power 106 FM is now 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday. 1 hour of solid advice, great interaction, and a belly full of laughs. That's Dear Pastor, now 1 power-packed hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday here on Power 106 FM.
We gonna sing, we gonna shout, we gonna rock.
¿Qué hora es en espagnol? Son las 5 menos 12. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 12. 现在几点了？5点加13分。13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Let's clear some more messages here on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Here's Golden Brown saying, hey, teacher, is Jamaica a real place? Pure looseness and talk. A pure dandy shandy a go on here. Them pure dandy shandy a go on here. Then they say curfew. Where that is? All after hours, a pure noise with music. Is Jamaica is a failed system. Golden Brown, to come to that conclusion, you'd have to take the criteria of a failed state and check that off against what's happening or not happening in Jamaica and see if you still agree that we are. How about that? Yeah, let's see. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Here's a call coming through on WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes, Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon. I was just listening to you on the call there about INDECOM. But if you remember clearly, when they set up what they said you set up something to do with state security, not just the police on this one. So the prison guards, the prison guard that work for the state. So once in state custody, INDECOM can investigate it.
Yes,
am I right?
I'm just looking at the act from the website. That's what I'm looking at now. And there is a section, let's see, interpretation, independent commission, functions of commission for, let's see, for functions of commission. Here we go. Subject to the provisions of this act, the provisions of the first schedule shall have effect as to the constitution of the commission and otherwise in relation thereto. Subject to the provision of this act, the functions of the commission shall be to conduct investigations for the purposes of this act, carry out in furtherance of an investigation, and as commission considers necessary or desirable. So that's carry out in furtherance of an investigation and as the commission considers necessary or desirable. So there's some amount of flexibility there in terms of the commission making the determination that an investigation is necessary or desirable. Also, inspection of a relevant public body or relevant force, including records, weapons, and buildings. Once again, inspection of a relevant public body or relevant force, including records, weapons, and buildings. Periodic reviews of the disciplinary procedures applicable to the security forces and the specified officials. Periodic reviews of the disciplinary procedures applicable to the security forces and the specified officials. Take steps as are necessary to ensure that the responsible heads and responsible officers submit to the Commission reports of incidents and complaints concerning the conduct of members of the security forces and specified officials. And it goes on to give INDECOM access to all reports, documents, and other information regarding all incidents and so on and so forth. It also will make recommendations, the review and reform of any relevant laws and procedures, protection of complainants against reprisal, discrimination, and intimidation, or ensuring that the system of making complaints is accessible to members of the public, the security forces, and specified officials. And it goes on. So already you can read into what you have heard, both the caller before and now you, that it would be within the remit of the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, to scrutinize conditions at a juvenile facility. And there's more, but we don't have the time to read through everything. But it's all available from the INDECOM website. Once you have access to the internet, just open a browser and type INDECOM, and everything on INDECOM should come up.
Yeah, I don't know when Mr. Williams was there. We used to do the same thing, go on and check and see how they treat prisoners.
Yes.
Boss.
Thank you. Thank you for your message. Thank you for your call. Sorry. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. This one from H. Morgan in Birmingham, who says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Just to comment to your listener who asked if Jamaica is a real place. The answer is yes, very real. But the citizens of Jamaica are the ones who are causing the beautiful people to give the beautiful island a bad name. As I once said, Jamaicans need to be the head and not the tail, or be a trendsetter in the right way and stop the followers of others' bad habits. Thank you, H. Morgan in Birmingham, for your message on WhatsApp. On the text line, Horace Johnson is messaging us. Good afternoon to you, Horace Johnson. All the best. This one is a little disjointed. We'll have to piece it together. Where does it start? Isn't it sad, Dervan, that thugs... Did we read this one already? That thugs... Yes, I think we read that. I think so. Not the first time we hear, so I think we had read that one. Right, so we're going to leave it there for now. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Monday, the 15th of February, 2021. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. Just before we go, just seeing a couple of stories which you may or may not hear in the news coming up. One of them of a Manchester man who had sex with his wife's 14-year-old niece, who has been sentenced to a total of 33 years in prison. 33 years in prison for a Manchester man who had sex with his wife's 14-year-old niece. There are other stories that are likely to make the news coming up at 5 o'clock right here on Power 106 FM. That one just jumped out a while ago. You know, the pop-ups online, the news pop-ups, right? Yeah. And there are others, but we'll have to leave it there. All things being well, both sides of the story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
Let's get together. We all can unite and take off these chains from off our feet. Cause we gonna walk on freedom street. Everybody knows we gonna walk down freedom street. They tell you people, united we stand, divided we fall. Respect your brothers, sisters and all. Let's not deal with illiteracy. Work it out intelligently. Lord, we gonna walk down freedom street. Everybody know we gonna walk down freedom street. Freedom street. Can't see clearly, cause I worked hard last night. It must be a vision, cause there's no change in sight. I see.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
New